Margam Park has a long history of cross-country racing and hosts round 2 of the National XC Series. The course at Margam Park has changed since previous years. Pronk and Deer's leap features berms and rollers, and Stag's Antler is the hardest descent on the lap, featuring multiple boardwalk sections. Adder Valley Climb was the start of the big draggy climb up to the top of the hill. Cave Rocky descent dropped down from the highest point on the course, featuring a loose surface. The course had a distance of 6.9 kilometres and 237 metres of climbing. As the Elite Open race got underway, it was Patrick Atkinson of Charlottesville CC who had the best start. As the riders headed down the Stag's Antler section, it was Jason Patel who had a gap over Thomas Mean, Simon Wiley, James Swadling and Luke Payton. At the end of lap 1, it was Patel who was looking comfortable at the front, but Mean had got away from the other chasing riders. Swadling and Wiley had also dropped Payton. Heading into lap 2, and Patel was still out front, but Mean was closing the gap fast. Mean now had Patel in his sight. Mean was looking strong. Wiley had put a gap between him and Swadling. At the top of the draggy climb, Jason Patel and Thomas Mean now led the race. At the beginning of lap 3, Patel and Mean were locked together. James Swadling, number 20, was closing the gap to Simon Wiley, who was currently sat in 3rd. Patel, who took 4th at round 1, has had a great year on the bike so far. He was looking to drop Mean if he could, but Mean, who won round 1, was hungry to repeat that success. Wiley had already put time into Swadling on the loose, tough climb. As the riders headed into the penultimate lap, Jason Patel and Thomas Mean were still locked together. Will one of them try and make a move on this lap? James Swadling had caught back up with Simon Wiley to gain 3rd place. After the first climb of lap 4, positions 1 and 2 were still together. Wiley took his 3rd place back with Swadling just behind. Positions still remained the same on the final descent of lap 4, with Wiley dropping Swadling once more. The 2 leading riders heading into the final lap. Who will make a move? It's Mean who attacks all out on the steepest and loosest climb of the lap. Patel is digging deep, but Mean is pulling away. You can see how hard Patel is trying to work to stay with him. At the top of the climb, Mean had ridden away. Patel was now comfortably in 2nd with a gap of around 3 minutes back to Simon Wiley. Patel was trying to work hard, but Mean had entered the final grass section with a gap of 50 seconds. Wiley had 3rd place secured. Thomas Mean took the win. Jason Patel took 2nd, 1 minute and 10 seconds behind. And Simon Wiley took 3rd, just ahead of James Swadling. It was Quiver May who had the best start. Grace Inglis took the lead and already had a big gap on 2nd place. May and Headley formed a chasing trio. Near the end of lap 1, Inglis had a substantial gap over the rest of the field, as May had also managed to drop Headley. Inglis was extending her lead fast. She looked comfortable and in control. Mac Mahone was also gaining time over May. Inglis was making light work of the descents. On the penultimate lap, Inglis was flying. Mac Mahone was comfortably in 2nd place. Ailish Gilbert had made her way up into 3rd and was also looking strong. May was fighting to close the gap to Gilbert. On the final lap, Inglis was in a league of her own with a gap of 1 minute. Mac Mahone was still in 2nd and Gilbert had dropped May to comfortably sit in 3rd. Heading down the final descent, the positions remained the same. Grace Inglis takes the win, followed by Holly McMahon, and Ailish Gilbert takes 3rd place. They are underway. Ben Coppola of Scott UK takes the lead. It's Coppola followed by Oldham, Dixon, Allen and Hart. Oldham and Hart had formed a leading group, followed closely by Coppola, Dixon and Allen. Oldham was looking strong, as was Hart. Dixon had taken the lead in the chasing group. The leading 2 were still locked together. Allen had a small gap over Dixon and Coppola. Heading up the final climb, Hart was trying to drop Oldham. Coppola had taken up 3rd place with Dixon close behind. Hart goes down, and so does Oldham. Oldham is first up and onto the bike with Hart close behind. Oldham now with a 4-second gap. Harriet Taylor and Ellie Mitchison were the quickest off the line, followed by Faye Williams. Taylor leads the race with a gap back to Layla Bradbrook. Tulsi Bukrania is close behind. Taylor is looking strong, but Bukrania is closing the gap. Bradbrook has dropped to third. Bukrania is now leading the race and looking strong, as Taylor is close behind to put more time into Bradbrook. Bukrania now has a gap of around 50 seconds over Taylor and is looking comfortable. Bradbrook is holding third as Bukrania is extending her lead up the final climb to 1 minute. Taylor is working hard to extend her lead over Bradbrook as Tulsi Bukrania takes the win, with Harriet Taylor in second and Layla Bradbrook in third.